Confidence comes once you have started achieving things. You start working on it. Maybe you'll fail in 10, but you'll succeed in 2.
MBA will give you enough chances, enough time to be what you are not maybe today, and go out with so many spikes that you don't even care about you entered without any spike.
We want to fast track the conversation back to what you're currently doing. So you both are running your own startup now. I assume once you try something of your own, you can see how all your previous experiences, they start off connect back to what you're doing, or you draw learnings from that and you actively apply them. So first, I want you to discuss actively about what the startup is about, and then what are some learnings that, in retrospect, in hindsight, you think are really helping you now.
Got it. So we are building in stealth, so it will stay stealth in this call itself. So we'll not reveal a lot, but within a 2-3 week time, we will see we will go public with our idea. But yeah, we are building in AI. A lot of things that we are working on are actually like you just asked, right? They are derived from our experiences. And the roles that we have also given to each other are around our experiences, right? And the problems are around our actual life problems, right? So it's a mix of 5 things that we have done. And I always tell people that your life is a sum product of 5 people and 5 things that you do, right? So if you have 5 people who are all into one specific kind of thing, you will definitely start liking that specific thing, right? And I think the problem that we are trying to solve is a huge problem. I can't discuss a lot about it right now. But we are trying to solve something in health and wellness category through AI, right? You will know it very soon on our LinkedIn. So yeah, I hope you would also be one of the customers for us. But now talking about learnings, I think the learnings again start from IIM. I don't want to discuss that. We have had extensive discussions on that. But that was one turning point which has given us confidence that if we can solve such diverse problems, the problem that we feel is actually true to us and true to the society can also be solved, right? We just need the right execution. Second thing is what I have realized. I just exited Pocket as a director, right? But I never worked like a director of growth, right? I worked like an operations guy. And you will always have to let your ego be away from your designation or role. Because I was hands-on with my work and I used to work with my team, I learned so many things that now when I'm starting up, I don't need to hire 10 people to do that thing for me, right? And that is very, very important because otherwise you are just burning money, right? If you can't do a certain thing, people will also not trust you that you can guide them well, right? So be it even the basics of video editing or whatever, the assets that we are creating, the creatives, the marketing, the social, everything I'm doing myself. I don't think that it's a work of an operations person who earns 40K a month, right? It's my work and I have to do it. I think, and the things that we are implementing in our idea, it's more around we have understood our users very well. So when I used to work at Meesho, I understood how tier 2, tier 3 works. What is their shopping behavior? How much are they able to pay? And how many times will they pay, right? What is their wallet share on shopping versus electricity? We used to do a lot of consumer studies to see how much of their wallet goes in electricity, loan repayment, buying something for their children, then savings. Do they even have savings or not? And now we understand that how much is the paying propensity of a user, right? Then I came to Pocket. I realized, okay, people also spend a lot on entertainment, right? But what form of entertainment would they want to spend? And what is the problem that entertainment is solving for them? It's not like entertainment is just entertainment. I think Gurjot also used to tell me a lot of customer side calls which she used to have, that I got to know from a user A that her mother-in-law was not letting her watch TV. So she switched to Pocket FM and started listening, putting earphones, and no one even knows that she's listening to an audio series, right? So these are the kind of insights we never know, right? And tier 2, 3 are more still, I would say, they are not they are untapped market, but they want to be in the part of the overall circle, right? And they are the real Indians, right, who have more problems which need to be addressed with internet, with AI, with all those things. So I think what we are building is a some product of all the things that we have done in the past, with more clarity. I would say 5 years gave us enough clarity to understand users, what they will pay for, what are their problem statements, and of course what solutions we want to implement, and how can we be the execution first founders and not the strategy first only, right? uh, I think that sums it up. I can't tell a lot about the idea, but we'll soon reveal it. Yeah.
I think he's pretty much covered it. Be strong executioners. Don't shy away from getting your hands dirty. Go to the ground level, do the work, and you will understand. That's the whole point, I think.
Lovely. There were a couple of questions about AI and ChatGPT. We lightly touched down upon them. Just wanted to understand your perspective as founders. How do you think about these technologies? Since you're closely working, also using it, right? I'm assuming. So, if let's just say they have to, because I think now when they get into the B school, a lot of, I mean, the 2 years that they'll be spending, a lot of things that they have to learn in this, I mean, in tangent with these things, they have to probably implement something that nobody has ever done it before, because this is something that is completely new for them to do. So as founders, what are some of the things you think they can learn to leverage their learning more and focus on things that actually matter when it comes to executing later?
Got it. I think AI can't replace you with the ideas. I have tried to use a lot of AI, a lot of GPT, Runway, Perplexity, Claude. You talk about Kling, uh, now Gemini 2.5, Flash Pro, everything. I've done everything myself, right? What I realize is, whatever you tell AI is, it will just do it better and give it back to you. But if you tell AI to give you something new, it will not, right? Because again, AI is trained on data. It's not trained on future, right? So AI can give you, AI can be leveraged to have more factual and research oriented works, right? So let's say you are, and that's how we are using AI in our new startup, right? We are using AI to research because we know it has enough data. It saves a lot of time. So AI is great for productivity. That's number one. Number two, AI can make your pitch or your ideas more refined, right? Of course, because a simple thing like even grammatical mistake will not happen, right? That's a very basic example. And AI will also tell you if you are able to guide the AI very well. So I think of AI as an employee, right? That if that employee is trained well, then it will create a great output for you. And I spend a lot of time on prompting, and I have realized that my prompts are longer than the ChatGPT's answers today, right? Every time. I know, and that is also one of the reason I am able to use AI slightly lower these days, because I feel like, okay, now I have to sit for prompting. It will take my 1 hour, because I can't just write a one-liner and say, can you tell me this? I know it will just tell me whatever basic thing I know, right? And sometimes when you don't do right prompting, you go in a wrong cycle and wrong direction. And we have realized this over a period of time, because we started off, again, we also didn't know how to use AI very well, right? But now the quality of answers we generate with GPT are way, way better. And I think that is also something which differentiates us now, that if there's another founder who doesn't know how to use prompting well, and if he or she is also doing exact same thing, we will still have a better GPT than them, right? And this is one thing, and I think AI is great for marketing now, right? GPT can generate images in a flash, right? You just have to, again, do the right prompting. You can generate videos in a flash. Most of the videos that we are creating for our marketing today with realistic humans are AI videos, right? And they don't look like AI, with very, very less cost. So you will have to pay a person to shoot it for you, with a script or without a script. Better give a script to Runway, Kling, ChatGPT. It will generate images, it will create motion to it, and you will get almost 99% similar looking image, right? And people don't care a lot, because if it's a marketing asset, people know it's an ad, right? So better focus on your message than just finding people. Unless you have a lot of money to do a collaboration with an influencer, it's a different ball game altogether, right? So yeah, I think we use AI for productivity more, um, for marketing, and for accuracy and research. And of course, Gurjot has more things for scripting and all. You can talk about
I
it.
think that will become very specific. Just one point I'd like to add is be limitless with AI. Don't think what are the things I need to plan out so that I give this work to AI and it'll do it for me. No, you bindas give whatever you want to do. Very random things also. Let's say you want to make a rocket, even ask that also to AI. It will tell you if it's feasible or not with the current tools or not. So I think AI has given you that advantage to be limitless. Think whatever you can out of the box. It will tell you how to do it and what tools you want to use to accomplish that.
Okay, we'll do a couple of rapid fire quick questions and then we take 1-2 questions and then we end our session. Awesome. Okay, so this has to be short and I want you guys to buckle up for this one. Okay, one professional decision that scared you but turned out great in hindsight.
I think leaving Pocket just a few weeks ago. I'm still scared, but till date it feels perfect. Of course, you will know in a year or two if it was right or wrong. But it's one of the most daring decisions that I have taken because I just got promoted last month. Right? So it was a huge thing I had to do. Yeah.
I think for me it was MasterCard. MasterCard was very comfortable. I was doing extremely well. And then I went for Misho, which completely turned my life, specifically also because I got married at the same time. So ekdam comfortable corporate life. So I went into a startup which is very, over the place. Everything was over the place. So yeah, that was one, such decision.
Great. All right. One Indian creator, founder, or thinker you'll drop everything right now to collaborate with. And this is taking a little extreme, but you get the point why I'm asking.
I think I like to collaborate with Nikhil Kamath. I listen to a lot of his podcasts. I feel like he's a genius guy, and I would want to collaborate on our business for that. I would want to have his opinions.
I think more than collaboration, I would want to have 1 hour with Virat Kohli. I love his mindset. I'm very aggressive when it comes to work, not with people, with myself, just like he is. And I'm very driven. So sometimes when I don't feel good, I actually watch that India-Pakistan T20 match highlights, and I see him, that face, how he was looking at the goal and trying to chase it out. So yeah, I think I just want to see if I can increase my energy even more sitting with him.
Awesome. Who wouldn't want that, right? Great. Your views on too many job switches post MBA. We'll start with Gurjot.
I think it's fine. Don't worry कि CV कैसा दिखेगा, बहुत short stint थी, whatever reason. I think it's fine. If you feel like you want to, let's say, get into another domain, try it. You feel like you're not getting paid enough, go on, try it. You feel like the culture is not good enough for you, go on, switch. It's fine.
I think doesn't matter. Of course, if you want to start up, now I don't care, right? So I have to spend 10 years into my own firm. So it doesn't matter if 3 jobs were switched or 1 was switched. It's all about if you're comfortable in your job, and you are growing and learning, continue doing it. There's nothing better than that. Don't move out just because you felt others are moving out, and don't stay if you feel that your CV will not look good. So it's your personal thing. Both the things don't matter, right? Staying or switching.
And one thing B school students should stop obsessing over. Would it be the same answer? To not worry about too many jobs.
Obsessing about.
Yeah.
I think they should stop. Students should start obsessing about following others, right? If you love consulting, go into it. If you love marketing, go into it. Don't say that my roommate is going into marketing, I also have to go into it, right? But don't obsess over jobs, right? Obsess over your skill set. And you make it so good that even if your first job is pathetic, it's okay. Your second job will be brilliant, right? So create a great CV and great skill set for yourself and a personality that really you look at yourself 2 years from now and you see I am a very different person. So obsess over yourself, I would say.
Same answer. Don't obsess over, let's say, certain companies, certain committees, whatever, people are generally wanting to follow. Just follow what you feel like is right.
Perfect. And one last question. Husband and wife working together as co-founders now. How are the dynamics?
Well, I get questions at 12 a.m. कि ये ऐसे क्यों नहीं हुआ था? So that is something I deal with, but I am fine with it. I think for both of us, it has worked always. Like since at IIM Lucknow, we were doing case competitions. By the way, it was not a love marriage. I like to clarify that wherever we go. So we didn't start being with each other because we liked each other. We were enemies. But yeah, so it sort of worked out for us. We like how we bring different opinions and ideas to the table, and I think that is something makes this dynamic work.
Yeah, I think great. You can see two companies work together now, third also working together. So we are not the ones who want to stay away and work. I think we work better when we complement each other, and because we motivate each other a lot, right? So, and it's most of the times that if I am demotivated, she is motivated, and then if she's demotivated, I am motivated. So it works very well for us.
Beautiful. We had a great time, guys. We'll take just 2 more questions and then we end our session.
Thank you for providing the insights, first of all. You mentioned about smart working. So personally, the journey is a lot. So I'm in that learning phase. So I generally wanted to check with you. When you say smart working, it's never practically worked for me. I've tried a lot. I am a hard worker. I work hard. So if a person is doing a work in maybe half a day, I'm probably doing it for 2 days. So I practically don't know how to make that smart working work. How do we probably not struggle a lot and get the work done sooner? And second question is, how do you get rid of all the distractions? See, when you say fun, I agree. But there are a lot of other distractions also, people pulling you into unnecessary things as well. So how do you cope up with that? So 2 questions. Thank you.
So when you say you are a hard worker, but you want to be a smart worker, I think there is one simple strategy that I follow. Don't be overly possessive with your hard work, right? I know it will sound counterintuitive, but if you do a hard work and let's say midway you realize that this is not right, stop it. It's okay. Don't consider that I have invested, let's say 10 hours in it. Now I need to get it done. Take the pivot faster. Take risk. It's okay. Even if it needs now 20 more hours being spent to do the exact same thing. But the moment you realize that it's not going in the right direction is when you become smart. Otherwise, you will continue doing hard work, finish it, realize it was not good, restart it again, and might not even have the motivation to restart again. Right? So smart work is all about knowing that whatever hard work you are putting is in the right direction. I don't agree that smart work is separate from hard work. I would only say that smart work happens when the hard work is in the right direction, right? And that will reduce your waste time, which is realizing later and then scrapping that thing and starting it again. And I do this at corporates also, right? When I start a project, I start seeing early data, early signs that is the customer liking it? Are we getting good traction on it? If not, don't ask your team to now double down on it. Let's see, we have to make it work somehow. Use a plan B. Always have plan A, B, C. Then you will, and this will come with practice. It's not like a one day thing that suddenly now whatever you were doing at home, you will go home and say, let me pause and start something new, right? So yeah, I think you can take the second question.
I think pretty much what he said processes. I think I relate to you more here because I feel like I have worked very hard and I sit on things for 3 hours and I feel like he abhi bhi nahi ho raha hai and I'm wasting my time and maybe somebody would have done it better and faster than me. With you set processes for yourself that I'll dedicate, let's say, 40 minutes to this, and always start looking things at an L0 level. This is, I think, one mistake that I feel like I was personally making. I go deep into things, right? And I think most of people might be doing that. You start going deep into things, you feel like, अच्छा और invest करना है इसमें time, अब ये चीज़ दिख गई वो भी सही करना है. First, chart things out for yourself on an L0 level. That let's say these are the 5 things I'll need to do to complete these tasks. Spend time on the first one. You feel like, okay, this is not happening. Switch so that the process can be quicker. And I have realized this, especially in corporate, especially in a startup. When you start working in a startup, right? Not everything has to be perfect. जुगाड़ से काम हो जाते हैं, right? So if let's say I've started, एक project जिसमें A part मैं कर रही हूँ, वो A part पे I have done 80% of the things. I feel like this is fine, I can move to the next one. हो सकता है वो 80-20 rule हर जगह अप्लाई करता है. वो 80% काम जल्दी हो जाता है. The 20% left is going to take more bandwidth, but maybe that's not even important. So I need to switch to B, do it, and then maybe I can, when I have time, I can come back. So set processes for yourself. Try to limit distractions. In B school, I set my own boundaries. I knew कि फॉर एग्जाम्पल किसी कहीं कोई सेशन है वहाँ जाना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. आई ट्राई एंड आई विल स्किप इट, यू नो, नो मैटर व्हाट द रेपरकशन इज. I'll not encourage that, but just saying कि set your boundaries. Maybe okay, some people will stop talking to you because हमारे committee का ये था, आप नहीं आए, now you can't be a part of it. I'm okay not being a part of it. So set boundaries for yourself and then move on.
I have so many questions that I can talk and ask the entire day, but I'll just
Join us.
no, thanks. But one thing is just I relate a lot with you because I've had this drive to do my own thing right from college. Even when I work, I have this thing and the later part, I try to take every task I do with an entrepreneurial spirit. I sense to have utmost ownership of it. But still I feel like I have a lot of ideas. I write it down, but it's just there in papers. I never start. I don't feel confident enough to do that in the first place. So that is one question. That is also one of the reasons why I thought going to a good B school would, I don't know if that expectation is right or not, but that is one of the motivations for me. So how to feel confident and how to, basically assess that this will work out, this is worth working on. Do we do trial and error, or how does it work?
I think it's a very simple process. Confidence comes once you have started achieving things. So, and how will you achieve things? You start working on it. Maybe you will fail in 10, but you will succeed in 2. So do multiple things. Whatever, let's say you have written 10 ideas, you want to do 10 things. ठीक है, see how many of these are manageable for you at that particular time. Let's say you start with 8. Out of those 8, maybe you will succeed at 2. तो जैसे जैसे सक्सेस आएगा ना, you will start feeling confident. And not everything has to be, let's say, कल ही मैं एक नया business खोल दूंगा या something. Start small. Again, I think for me, how I have motivated myself with so many setbacks that I have gotten is, I believe in myself, and when people are, let's say, belittling me, I feel like नहीं, इनको नहीं पता है, मुझे पता है how I work, right? So I set small goals, achievable goals. Once I achieve them, it gives me kick to achieve a bigger goal now. So अपने लिए make small steps and move on those steps. Confidence अपने आप आना शुरू हो जाता है at the end. I think very relatable again for me also. This is something I acknowledged in my engineering college. A quick story if we have time, right? I was a very bright child. I scored well. I got into engineering college. I chose a very different stream, okay? Now I feel I want to justify it as 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood, and I took the one less traveled by, but that was not the case when I joined. So I had 2 options available. One was food technology, one was chemical engineering, and I had the rank of a chemical engineering one. It's not like I didn't, okay? Somebody guided me. I was very new to engineering as a field. Nobody in my home is an engineer, right? Somebody told me food technology le lo, upcoming hai, and you'll enjoy it and blah blah. So I took it. The first day, you won't believe, not even the first day, counseling khatam hui. I thought कि पापा एक बार department देख के चलते हैं. So I went to the department. It was not even the first day. I met a professor there, and I very happily told her that I was getting chemical. I was also getting CSE, but I chose food tech. And that professor told me, are you mad? Like, why would you go for food technology, okay? You won't believe, I calmly came back to the car. I sat as a papa yahan baithe, and I didn't speak a word. I felt like, oh my God, पूरी लाइफ खराब कर ली. अभी तक इतनी मेहनत करी 12th तक, अब एकदम से लाइफ खराब कर ली food tech लेके. So very first day, I knew I had made a bad decision, okay? Then there was a guy, so I joined chemical engineering का कोई बंदा आया and said, oh, you are the one who took food tech, chemical छोड़ के. I was like, yeah. He said, thank you यार, तुम ले लेती तो मेरे को नहीं मिलती, मेरी last seat है मेरी. I was again depressed. So my first 6 months in engineering were, oh shit, what have I done? And hence, I wanted to try out many different things. I was so sad and upset that from being a topper in school, I had a 7.7 CGPA in the first, session. And everybody was like, यार ये topper बंदी है, इसने food tech ली, अब ये 7.7 CGPA है, कर क्या रही है ये? Where is she? That was exactly the phase where I can, relate to you. being an extrovert, being a confident child, being in that loop somehow, I think then I started setting up some goals. I thought, nahi yaar, ye 7.7 मैं नहीं हूँ, मुझे पता है. I need better grades. I need to do better things. So I set goals. I said कि नहीं, next में तो 9 CGPA लाना ही है. And that happened. From 7.7 to I had 9.6. Then I had 9.4. Everybody was like, अच्छा अब ये थोड़ा अपना असली रंग दिखाना शुरू करिए. Then I started being in a lot of core, research project भी मैं ही कर रही हूँ क्योंकि प्रोफेसर से बात करी, रिक्वेस्ट किया, इनएक्टर्स भी मैं ही कर रही हूँ, केमिकल इंजीनियरिंग हेड भी मैं ही हूँ, आर्ट्स क्लब की प्रेसिडेंट भी मैं ही हूँ at second year. You set your goals. Maybe sometimes it will sound unconventional to you. आपको लगेगा कि nobody has done this because कोई examples नहीं है. Set it for yourself. You know you can do it. Trust on yourself. Start doing it. You will fail also. For example, that research project was a failure. I literally wasted 1.5 years. Every evening I used to stay after 5 in college, work till 7:30. Saturdays भी मैं आ रही थी, मैं वो beakers के साथ कर रही थी कुछ. Never really worked out for me. But that one thing in actors worked out for me. I understood that this is what I want to do, and hence I moved ahead. So maybe you'll fail at 5 things, but you'll succeed at 2, and those 2 will give you the confidence to now approach more 10 things. So start small, that will happen. I think it will happen.
Thank you very much.
Most of the people in B schools make 1 or 2 national finalists, and you've done 17. That's very commendable. So my question is, predominantly most of the case comps, whether it's HUL Lime, Asian Paint Canvas, Bond with Pidilite, Mondelez Masters, most of it is marketing based. So the first thing is primary research, secondary research, and you have to find out all the consumer preferences, user persona, then do STP, GTM. So how did you go about in such short timelines? So 17 case com winner, how did you do it? That's my question.
Okay, I think we should not look at 17 wins. We should look at number of losses first, right? Because to win 17, to win the first one, we lost 10. Then the journey started.
More than 10. I think first year we didn't really
win
crack
anything.
anything.
Almost. We were there, but I think towards the end we realized, okay, we are not able to crack anything. Yes, we were able to win campus rounds, but never beyond that, right? And that's, I think the reason that was happening was because, just like you mentioned, and I could think of myself at that time, I used to do this exactly, what you just mentioned, right? STP, GTM, a lot of, I think, jargons. Let's do this because there's a process, 4 P's of marketing. And I used to write 4 P's of my idea. It brutally failed, right? Because I think everyone can do it. So if you have an idea, you have 4 P's, you will always fill that box with 4 P's, and it's very easy. You will always have a GTM. What differentiated us is when we started trying things which people never expected. So our slide titles were also something that the jury has never heard about, right? Let's say I used to say that you have asked me to solve a case A to reach the output B. I will also tell you output C, because I feel like this doesn't end here. Once you implement this, it will also, so let's say there is a solution that I have given to increase, let's say, traffic conversion on a website which has a revenue uptick for them. Now I know the traffic conversion will increase this, but I have given them a second thought that to bring this traffic, your CAC will go up. And now the CAC also has to be solved. Otherwise, your ROI will not make sense. So now I'll also tell you what to do for CAC, right? Now this is something no one else is thinking. And what we realize is people don't just, it's not just your idea alone or you alone which will win a case competition. It has to be both ways, right? Because case comps are also ways to find guys for PPO, correct? So it's not like PPI basically. So a lot of competitions end with a cash plus PPI. And they need people who can think deeply, and they need smart people. They don't just need smart ideas, right? So when you project yourself as a person who can think 2 lines, let's say 2 deep, as well as covering the right amount of width for that case, you will get more chances and you will get more winnings because of that thing. So of course there are, let's say, 5 deliverables in a case comp. You solve those 5, But I always used to tell my team, ki I want to do something extra. I don't think these 5 will work alone. Let's give them something that they will never imagine that, okay, these guys are able to think beyond it. Also, our slides are never called GTM, 4Ps and all. We always used to say, for example, there's a slide which says, what our users say, rather than saying user research. Very basic things, but more, I would say, of course, there was no chat GPT, so that's even better. Now the people will think, okay, you have used chat GPT maybe for answering, but it always looked like very authentic, right? It didn't look like you took a slide deck from someone and pasted your own ideas. And don't design the slides a lot. I have realized in the first year we did everything. Let's have good colors, good designs, good titles, good subtitles. None of that works. And I think the reason why people win 1 or 2 is because for 2 years they only keep doing this, right? So the moment you realize that's a risk, people will think, I don't want to take this risk. This is important case com. But if you take that risk and you win, you will know that I want to only do this. So that happened with us. We were losing so many, so we thought, okay, it's okay, we'll lose one more. But that is where we won, right? And post that, we never looked back. So, like I mentioned, MBA will give you enough chances, enough time to be what you are not maybe today, and go out with so many spikes that you don't even care about you entered without any spike. So take that time out and try unconventional things, even for solving cases, not just for your own career, right? And you will see that people like, yeah, see, India has so much population, right? There's so, right now, if you look at job market, it's not very good, right? And there's so many people who want to get into the job market. People are ready to take pay cuts for the job. So you are competing with them also, right? People like us, let's say I get laid off, right? I am also your competitor in future then. So how do you differentiate yourself, right? And that's where people want, and be an entrepreneur within a company, right? And that you can showcase only with these things during B school. This will also help you in cracking interviews, right? So it's not just helping just for that case. When you go into a consulting interview or a marketing interview, these things will help you a lot. Maybe your whole interview is driven around what case did you solve and what was the result. That's how my interview was at Amazon. They asked me that which case competition have you won? Okay, TAS was that, right? So the whole discussion was around TAS. And I could easily tell them because I had solved it myself. Such an easy interview, I would say, right? So yeah, I think this answers, right?
Both your stories are very inspiring. So since we're talking about entrepreneurship, I wanted to understand the kind of support that we get from the incubation centers at IIMs, what to do, what not to do. Let's say we have an entrepreneurial idea, and how do we get access to some industry data or professors or maybe investors? I'm thinking it in the long term and in an optimistic view, but some of your insights and would be very helpful.
Got it. So I think IIM network is very strong. And there's so much support at IIM, right? That's why we always come back whenever there's a discussion around IIM Lucknow, right? And I think ABC, LK, all the IIMs have their own alumni network, incubator cells, and very strong support system. And I don't think that support is only monetary support. The professors are very supportive. And I think in my introduction only, I told you that I had better connects with professors because of cases than the academics, right? Because I used to discuss the problems with them, that I am thinking of it in certain way. Of course, when we started, we got support from IIM Bangalore, NSR, CEL, not IIM Lucknow, because we didn't even try. IIM Bangalore had a competition. We won that and they funded our idea. We were about to go into IML because the person who was leading that, the professor, he was very much pro to help us, right? So it was just about, we got IMB first, so we took that first. But in terms of, I think the best support you will get out of an IIM is the network of alumni. For example, in my case, it's Pratik, who will also take the next session with you guys, right? Such a strong network of alumni whom you can call, text anytime, ask the direct questions and get an answer unfiltered, right? Because that is what you will miss as an entrepreneur in case you don't have this network. Right now, when I'm starting up, I don't just have an IML network, I also have my corporate network, people whom I worked with. And I think at this time, more than money, you need guidance. right? So that you don't go in a wrong direction solving a wrong problem. It's very easy to raise funds, right? I am already in that journey, and it's actually very easy if you have a great idea and a good support. So when you say you want to start up, remember you need to find the right people who know a lot about industry, who are also like-minded like you, who also think differently and want to start up, and you will eventually find it very easy to start up and even fail and then again build together, right? So support, I don't think there's any there is so much resourcefulness and support system. And in terms of incubators, I think they support you with money, people, alumni industry support, data, of course, if they have. I think it's more about giving you those tools which have data, right? Not direct data, of course. They are not sitting and researching the data. But yes, you will get all those tools free of access. There's a library of tools available at IIMs. So yeah, I think that's all right.
Pretty much covered.
You had mentioned about like the case competitions itself, right? For me, like I am taking part in many case competition pre-MBA itself, but I'm not even able to clear the first stage of it. Like even be it with the PPT or the quizzes, like what can I do extra to like do better in these case competitions? Like what is the start, like the start zero, and how to come with the catchy phrases, etc. for winning them?
Catchy phrases won't work. That's one thing. Ground reality works. So if you want to solve a case, have two users who have faced that problem, talk to them, map out their complete journey, and you will find pointers that you want to solve for, right? So I'll try to take some example. Let's say you're solving for financial inclusion, right? For tier 3 market, which simply means how can we give loans, disburse loans to these people who don't have a very good credit score, right? A lot of companies are actually doing it, so my solution will not be right because it's a ongoing problem. Now, rather than telling them GTM, 4Ps and all those things which you might think of out, talk to two users who are in that market, or even one user. Have 1 hour discussion with a user. Talk to your relatives who might be maybe in tier 3, right? And try to understand from them what is their lifestyle. Start with the lifestyle, right? Understand how much do they earn, where do they spend, are they able to save or not, why is their credit score weak, have they taken loan earlier, have they tried a loan, and if they have, what are they trying the loan for, how much amount do they need, and you will start finding so many insights from those conversations, right? So you will understand, okay, this person doesn't need a 10 lakh rupee loan because they don't want to buy a car which is way beyond their income, right? They need a 1 lakh loan because they want to fund their child's education, and they also want to repay it back within 2 years because let's say you are talking to a lady and her husband is in a business which is seasonal. So you know the loan is required for, let's say, 1 year. Next year they have a plan, they will get a lot of money for the things they have sold. There's a high cycle, and then you will start understanding that, okay, for this specific customer there is seasonal income and seasonal guaranteed income. So then can I create some metric around it which will help me understand that, okay, if the income is seasonal and also, let's say, variable, what is something that is fixed, right? So what are the constants and variables in this person's life? And the things which are constant are more certain in nature, and the things that are certain are the ones you can play a bet around. I'm just giving an example, right? And that's how you will create the answer. And I just solved a case in front of you now, right? So then you will start thinking of, okay, now I have got 5 constants. That income is seasonal, definitely in Diwali, right? Second, income is definitely above 2 lakh. You will get, let's say, 5 different constants here. Now map those constants, talk to 3 more people. You will start realizing that there's a pattern. And the moment you identify pattern, which is mass, you will crack a case comp, right? That's as simple as that. Because anything that is mass will solve for that company's mass also, right? So always think of a solution that will help the specific company which has given you a case competition solve for its customers. Let's say the customers are tier 1, don't talk to tier 3, right? You will have to choose the right person and spend a lot of time on mapping out right questions for that person, which is a very boring but important part. right? Before talking to a user, can you think like a user, map out all the right questions that you want to ask, and then of course the answers and the insights that you draw from it.
You mentioned about enactors. I was also part of enactors in college. I wanted to ask, because even in enactors we do look at problem statements from the ground up. We do go out to do the research. How much has that experience helped you during your case competitions?
I think a lot. Now we say, even when you are in corporate, people will be like, everybody will have that mantra, be user first, go to users. But I think that was ingrained in me when I was in Enactors, because we had so many. So I was in Punjab University. We had villages that Punjab University has sort of adopted. So we, work for the betterment of people in these particular villages. I was very regular, in visiting these villages, talking to the people, what are the problems that they are facing, how can I help them through, the opportunities that I can bring in through Enactors. And that is something that has ingrained in me very well. And even when we were doing case competitions, I think my first job was always to talk to users. Even at Pocket and Meesho, I have done a lot of user callings. Even at, in our startup, I think the first touch point that I had with this startup was talk to people, understand what they are facing, what their day-to-day lives look like, and what are the exact problems that I can solve for them. So I think Enactors was exactly the thing that ingrained that value in me, and it has helped, always helped. And this is a great tip for you guys also. If you approach any case competition, if you go to any corporate, you have a user-facing role, start with your users. Talk to your users. Don't shy away, especially if they are, let's say, tier 2, tier 3. They'll drop your calls. Every Saturday, Sunday, we follow a ritual that now, we want to talk to our users. People will shut, the phone calls on your face. उनको लगेगा कि आप customer support वाले हो बहुत. आप उनको बोल दो, I'm the founder of this XXY thing, and let's say I'm an MBA also. Still, they'll shut the phone on your face कि ठीक है मैम नहीं चाहिए आपकी service. So, it's okay. Face that. Face the embarrassment, face the disappointment, but keep talking to more and more people, and that will always help you crack whatever problem that you are, wanting to crack. Yeah.
So in case competitions, now everybody uses AI, chat GPT, and when there is any problem also, what I can think of, chat GPT can think of it, gives me the answer as well. So when many people have access to same solutions, how to be different or differentiate ourselves in the case competitions?
I think don't use ChatGPT. See, everyone is using ChatGPT, so you don't use. Use your own brain. Spend time on thinking yourself. Like I told you, ChatGPT can be only used for research. If people are using it for answers, they will all lose that case competition. That's what you really want. I think the ideal state, if I was now going into B school, I would be very happy. People will use ChatGPT, I'll use my whiteboard, and they will all have similar solutions. See, if ChatGPT had solution, the companies don't want you to answer them. They will also find the same from ChatGPT, right? And these companies have better AI adoption than the students as of today, right? So why would they even go to you guys to tell them what to do? Because ChatGPT doesn't have user insights, right? Everything starts from the user first approach. And the insights that you will gather talking to people and maybe talking to yourself, your family members who are maybe using the similar kind of products, that will be way better than ChatGPT. And we always used to start with the problem first approach. The first slide or the second slide is more about what is the problem, what kind of users are facing it, why are they facing it. ChatGPT won't tell you, it will hallucinate, right? So ChatGPT has that hallucination. If you don't use the search, I don't know if you guys know it or not, but if you use search along with the prompt that you give, then it tells you the real facts, right? If you don't use search, some of the data might actually be hallucination, right? It might not be accurate. So that is not the right approach, because then if you're solving a case for Mondelez and ChatGPT is telling you to do 10 things, it is also telling the same manager in Mondelez to do those 10 things, right? So think your own ideas. You would be very happy if people use all ChatGPT and you don't. I am telling you, you will love this thing that I don't use ChatGPT, and this day you got to know this idea, right? So yeah.
So let's say 4 people are working on the case competitions. Brainstorm. First brainstorm. Don't refer to any ChatGPT, any book, anything. Brainstorm. Once you have a list of ideas, then research on ChatGPT to link it to those ideas, whether this is making sense or not. Do user feedback calls. Many of the ideas always come from user feedback only, because you want to solve problem for them, na? They'll tell you what to solve for. It's as simple as that. So use your brain. The 4 people that let's say working are on that competition, use ChatGPT only to refine it further.
Well, this was great. Thank you very much, Manavdeep and Gurjot, for taking out time and coming here and taking up all the questions. Please give it up for Manavdeep and Gurjot.
Great, thank you.